Hi there, pile three. If you guys chose the Selenite Heart in the 8th House Tarot, this is going to be your reading, and this is your person's next move. So to start off, I have some cards to indicate both parties in this connection, and then the current energies and what's going on between the both of you. And I do just want to state that I've seen that some people are having trouble discerning which one is them and which one is their person. I do want to say that if it doesn't sound like your person, that, but it sounds like somebody else, then it's likely that you're needing to hear a message about somebody else. But I do also want to remind both of you, you, the viewer, unless both of you are watching, that we are complex people and we can find, we have a lot of different attributes. You know, nobody's as cut and dry as one archetype, which is interesting because for you guys, I actually had to pull two more. You guys got more cards than any other pile, so I'm very interested. And also, if you're curious about the other piles, both of them were vastly different. So if you're interested in looking at those, they're likely talking about, actually, I don't know, because we haven't gotten into this pile yet, but I will say that. So yeah, so if you find yourself identifying with both sides, my suggestion would be to find the one where you feel like your energy is more currently resonating with that one, or pick one that you feel you resonate with more strongly. I'm really interested to get into this because, yeah, okay, I'll just start. So the first person is being represented by Angel, helping those in need with no expectation of return. And the shadow attribute, which this doesn't have to resonate, acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. And Don Juan spotlights your positive seductive qualities or using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. Take the light and dark attributes as they resonate. I'm more so just focusing on the titles. But then for the other side, person B, we have Mother. Nurturing, patience, unconditional love, joy, and giving birth to life. And shadow attributes is smothering or abandoning children, instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. And like, you don't have to be a mother, you don't have to be a parent. I'll get into more of this later. And we also have Gambler. Willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you, and relying on luck rather than hard work. So before I get into the energies between the both of you, this is what's interesting. So I shuffled these and something wasn't sitting right with me because I got Angel and Mother, and I was like, this isn't giving me the full picture here. There's something more to this. And so I felt compelled to draw another card for each person because I felt like there needed to be something, there was something more complex to this dynamic that needed to be shown. So I'm kind of excited to get into that. But let's look at the current energies between you. We have number 10, Storm Warning, and number 41, 7th Chakra, Archangel Uriel. And then the energy between the both of you, or the current situation, is the 8 of Cups, emotional withdrawal. So I definitely feel like neither of you are on the same page right now. Both parties here are highly intuitive and connected to spirit. And with the 7th chakra being shown here, I would definitely say that this is a spiritual connection of some kind. And whether you're with this person or separated from them physically or just literally, both of you are connected at the spiritual level, and this is definitely a spiritual connection. Now let's start with person A over here. What's interesting is I'm getting this perspective of person A, and it seems like it's from person B's perspective. But person A is somebody who is genuinely very, very kind. they want to help others, and they really don't have that expectation of like helping others so that others will help them. They just want to do right by others. But the energy that I get from person A is that they were somebody who, growing up, maybe didn't feel very good about themselves. They could have been bullied. And this might have been something that manifested or created this tendency to want to people please and help others. But person A definitely has a genuinely very kind and nurturing nature about them. But with this Don Juan here, so I was like, there's something more to this. I feel like this person, whether it's you or your person, really blossomed. And I think that they have a lot of romantic interests. And I think that they attract romantic interests without even trying. They're likely very physically attractive. They could even have angelic features. I kind of get like a Libra rising energy or a Leo rising. But it's like this person attracts people without even trying. And I think that this person really struggles because I think people, I don't want to say assume the worst in them, but have a hard time believing that this person is as good-natured as they actually are because of either how physically attractive they are, how charming they are, or something of that nature. This person is probably very misunderstood and has genuinely good intentions, but I think people have a hard time believing the purity of this person because of how awesome they are, truthfully. And I think that this person might accidentally lead people on, or just out of being nice. I feel like some people get angry at this person because they're just being nice, and then people think that they're being flirtatious or something, and that's not their intention. And so they might have a hard time because they feel like they can't really be open, and they feel maybe just really guilty because people have interest in them, but they're not trying to attract that. And yeah, I think that's something they struggle with. But moving over to person B, the mother energy to me is really reflecting how this person feels about person A. Nurturance, patience, unconditional love, joy in giving birth to life. So I feel like this person B, is very nurturing towards person A, or at the very least has a huge soft spot for person A. I feel like this person is either older than person A or has just a more mature energy. They could be a parent, or they could just be like, I'm almost even getting the vibe of like an oldest sibling. So they're like used to having to take care of others and following the lead. I feel like this person adores person A, but they might have a hard time seeing the full picture. With Gambler here, this person is incredibly intuitive, and I think that's what's interesting. Spirit is highlighting how spiritual in nature both parties are. And I get more of a protective energy from person B, and I feel like person B is in that similar energy of having a bit of a fear of person A because they are very, very attracted to person A, and person A kind of makes them feel some type of way without even trying. And it's almost like person B wants to put their blindfold on because they're like, I can't look at you, otherwise I just melt. But this is somebody, this person B, definitely flies by the seat of their pants a little bit. And sometimes they have trouble discerning what's their intuition and what's their anxiety, their fears. And I feel like even though I pulled extra cards, I feel like a lot of you still might be having trouble discerning which person is you. So I want to make it clear that if you're struggling with that, that's okay. I would just take that as confirmation that the both of you are similar in a lot of ways, and that there is not only mirroring energy here, but you both have similar qualities. Like, what can I say? But if this sounds like you and it sounds like them, I would not really stress, because I can honestly see how these all could coexist. I feel like this person B, is definitely a bit impulsive, and maybe at times a bit of a know-it-all, but they can be very nurturing. And I think that they, like I said earlier, have that very protective instinct towards person A, even if they're not with them, even if they're not communicating. Because the fact that we have the Eight of Cups here, I feel like something happened where both parties kind of either went their separate ways completely, or are just not really being open with one another or communicating. And the truth of the matter is a lot of this is due to a lack of understanding and a lack of being completely open with the other. I feel like when you're both together, whether that's just chatting, if it's like long distance or something, or when you're with this person in person, I think the attraction to one another is so strong that it's really hard for either person to trust what they feel intuitively, or see things with the full picture, because I feel like both person makes the other anxious, probably unintentionally. But I think both parties with this storm warning here are afraid to be open. Both these people, especially if they're in separation, could have a rocky past. Some rocky things could have happened. Maybe one person walked away before things could get too crazy. But I definitely can see that this is a spiritual connection in nature. And with Archangel Uriel here, maybe that's someone you want to pray to if you have support. But there's definitely a lot of angels surrounding this connection. And I definitely think a huge purpose of this connection has been to make you both go within and mother yourselves and see your worth, follow your intuition, even when others doubt you, because I feel like this is definitely a connection where you both feel a little crazy and you're not quite sure what's going on here. I feel like there's a lot of inner turmoil on both ends about this connection and a lot of confusion. And I feel like you both are just feeling like withdrawn and not really wanting to be open with the other, and being unsure of the other's intentions. And I think that on both ends, no matter what's happened here, both of you showed these really beautiful sides of each other, this angelic side and this nurturing side. This is like somebody who I feel like is, really protective, but they have a massive sweet side for this for one another, essentially. Hopefully this isn't getting too confusing, but this is definitely a situation where there's still more to be revealed for both parties. And I feel like this connection as a whole was meant and is meant to bring you both closer to God, the universe, spirit, whatever you want to identify it as, and learn to trust your intuition more. Because one thing that the reason why I felt so compelled, one of the reasons why I felt so compelled to draw more cards for you is because I think that this Gambler and this Don Juan are the sides that most people see. And these are the sides that only you two saw with each other, because these are more of your core selves, your inner selves. And I think that there could have been outside influences speaking about this connection that really didn't have the full picture and didn't really understand the truth here. And I don't think either one of you is willing to be open about the truth right now, but let's just see what this person's next move is, no matter what it is. It's interesting because I do just feel so much mirroring energy here. and fear as well. But I think the emotional withdrawal is on both ends. Sorry, this probably isn't the most visually pleasing thing in the world. I'm just going to put this green on top of the storm warning because I almost feel like the storm warning thing is a bit of a farce and something that both of you fear more than anything. Okay. Cut this into threes. I might have just done that. I don't know. If you're a newer viewer, you've never watched me before, I will say I have ADD. So sometimes I'll find myself getting distracted or literally forgetting I've done something right after I've done it. But you know, it's just a part of life. So let's see, Spirit, pile 3, what is this person's next move towards pile 3? Okay, we have the 9 of Swords, Mars and Gemini. Interesting, we have more of that lightning imagery. We have the 4 of Wands, Venus and Aries. We have the 7 of Swords, Moon in Aquarius. And we have the Ace of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Alrighty, so this is interesting. I feel like this is something that is really displayed on both. Like the energy is a bit mirroring. But the interesting thing is that with the 7 of Swords here, if there was any sort of betrayal, it was in the past. And I mean, I literally am just hearing money on my mind. And with all of this green, I feel like this energy maybe relates more to this person. And this energy relates more to this person. But the commonality here is that both parties want harmony within this connection. This is the 4 of Wands. This is joy. This is celebration. This is stability and a solid foundation. With this 9 of Swords here, this person is definitely overthinking this connection, and it's likely you are too. And it makes sense that I felt like I wanted to cover up this storm warning because, you know, if you look at the similarities in these cards, I feel like both parties are really guilty of believing worst case scenario energies. And the fact that both parties overthink, it really blocks their intuitive feelings about each other and the connection. With the 4 of Wands here, I feel like this person wants to establish some kind of stability here. But with the 7 of Swords, they might be really focused. I'm even called with that gambler. There could be, you know, this person could be really focused on their money or their job, their work. This 7 of Swords to me isn't really betrayal. Like if there was betrayal, it was in the past. And I feel like if there was a betrayal in the past, it's not something that this person is proud of. And it's definitely not something that this person is wanting to continue. I feel like they definitely feel very ashamed of it. If you're this side and your person is this side, I feel like this 7 of Swords energy could have been self-sabotage, or honestly, I feel like it would be this person assuming the worst in this person and believing that there was somebody else in the picture or more people in the picture and that this person was entertaining more than one person. I feel like right now, this is kind of an energy to me that both parties have been trying to choose themselves. And with green, you know, I feel like both parties have been... I laughed because I just heard smoking that green. So that could be something, you know, maybe you both bonded over, or maybe something that you both partake in or do to kind of relieve this anxiety. I feel like you both have lost sleep, a lot of sleep over this connection. You both probably dream about each other and visit each other on the 5D. But I feel like both parties are in this energy of choosing themselves, because I feel like this person is wanting to extend some kind of fresh start here in the future. But it might be very slow moving. But with this Ace of Earth, this Ace of Pentacles, this is all about commitment, wanting to invest in something. And maybe at the time, this person didn't have the ability to invest in anything. They might have had a lot of fears and they weren't feeling very stable. I want to get clarifiers because I think that that is going to shed more light, because the energy is quite interesting here. With the Mother, I feel Cancer energy for sure. Cancer rising, maybe. Obviously, we have those specific astrology placements. But I think this person desires for a grounding of some kind and a peace offering of some kind, because there's definitely a lack of peace here. Okay. So, yes, we have the Page of Swords. We have the Hierophant with Taurus. We have Pluto with Judgment. And we have Scorpio, Death. And what's interesting is I didn't mean to grab 2 cards, but I did, so I'll take them. You guys are just getting extra cards galore today. So lots of major arcanas here, and that's kind of what I was waiting for, truthfully. But on the back of the deck, we have the Moon, High Priestess. Okay. Yeah, this is an incredibly intuitive connection, and there are secrets here between the both of you. And I think a lot of it is due to the underlying feelings here. But let's just start off right off the bat. In terms of what I think their next move is going to be, it's going to be communication of some kind, whether it's telepathic, in person, or virtual, like texting. I just heard this isn't over. I feel like this person has gained a lot of clarity and a lot of understanding. I think you have as well, and that's kind of the nature of these spiritual connections, where they're really rough and they can be just like I said, rough, but they bring about a lot of understanding about yourself and about the world, and they typically make you go within. And I think with this 7 of Swords here, and being clarified by Judgment, Pluto is a planet of transformation, and for some reason I'm thinking about Saturn and like karma. I feel like both of you, because I mean, if I'm just gonna be real here, I feel like this energy is hella mirrored, and you both are overcoming a lot of wounds, burying things in your past, and trying to transform and come into balance with your light side and your shadow sides. And what's interesting is that I think both of you intuitively know that things aren't over here. With Taurus here in the Hierophant, I feel like this person wants to go slow. They want to do things in a traditional way this time. I feel like this person is very stubborn. And with Venus and Aries here, it's possible that this maybe started as a friends with benefits situation, or it got physical really, really quickly. And it might have clouded each other's visions of one another, because there was such a deep connection. And then that, you know, Scorpio is also very sexual energy, and that deep physical passion could have really clouded one another's judgment. And I feel like this person wants to, like, you know, come in from a very saintly perspective. I'm hearing the song right now, Praise the Lord, by A$AP. I think it's by A$AP Rocky. I could be wrong though, but I think it's by A$AP. And this connection has brought about transformations in both people. And I honestly, I feel like, especially if your person is person B, they were kind of shook because they saw you as this angel. And I think if they got into bed with you, they were a little distraught by your level of skill. I think that they weren't expecting that, and they might have thought like that you had been with a lot of people or were with a lot of people, and truthfully there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like for you, if you're person A, you are very confused because you're not, like, you just got mad skills. What can you say? You know, you might be a Scorpio, you might just have that energy about you. But it doesn't matter which side is the other. I think the physical passion here really changed things. And I think this person, I think the person that you're asking about, I think there was self-sabotaging on both ends. And I'm having trouble saying, I think both parties led to this kind of dissolving. I think both parties were listening to other people. They were not really listening to their intuition. I think it's interesting that we have that gambler here and dice. But with the Wheel of Fortune and Jupiter, you know, Jupiter is all about blessings. And I think that things are changing for the positive here. And with Scorpio, death, you know, 13 reduces to 4 is stability. I feel like this person sees you as the one, and I think you see them as the one. I think you both might really want to have a commitment with one another and go about things in the traditional way. And I think what's interesting is that we have this starting with a Page of Swords. So I feel like this is something that I almost want to say when, but I will say if, just in case, because, you know, energies can change. It's going to start out very casual, and it's going to take time for these things to come out. But, you know, with the Death card, this is all about rebirth and change. And I think that one of the things that both parties want here is that if I'm hearing, like, if we're going to do it again, I want to do it right and start something new. And I almost see this, even though it isn't, I see this as an olive branch. Like, I feel like your person wants to extend that olive branch, especially if maybe they were the one to sabotage this connection completely. Because I feel like, you know, neither party was acting with authenticity, whether it was just out of fear of being honest about their emotions or whatever. But it's like, there's been so much confusion, and I think that's why I feel a little confused reading about this, because it's hard to know what the truth is. And I feel like it seems like this person on this side is going to be the one to take a gamble and open up first. But I could be wrong. It could be this person, you know. I feel like, if anything, this person has the gift of the gab, and so they might be the one to open up first, so it could go either way. I'm so sorry if this is very confusing. I'm trying my best here, but I'm channeling a lot right now, and with these, like, deeply spiritual connections that don't make much sense and don't really follow a typical timeline, there's a lot of energy, and I definitely think there's a lot of spiritual undertones here. And because of that, there's a lot of confusion. Spirit's telling me to say this, so I will. If you want to hear a message from your person, pick a book that you feel drawn to, the first book that comes to your mind, open it up to a random page, close your eyes while you're doing this, and point to just a random part on the page and read, and just see if it resonates or it gives you any messages. I also, for some reason, am feeling like if you visit a cemetery, pay attention to what's on the gravestones. Like, there may be a name or a message or something like that for you. That probably won't resonate for everyone, but I don't know. I'm one of those weird people where I really like cemeteries. I like hanging out in them. I don't know. I feel at home there. That's so weird. I sound so creepy. Just I'm gonna take that back. I'm not taking it back. I own it. I don't know why. I feel a weird sense of peace around cemeteries. But with this Scorpio death card, I definitely think that this connection withered away and it wants to bloom again, and I'm hearing happening for you, not to you. And I think that you both intuitively know that things are going to change. The wheel of fortune is going to change here. A Ferris wheel might be significant. Tattoos might be significant as well. But I think there's a chance for this to blossom again, and it will start as a seed and it will grow naturally. And I think the biggest change about this connection moving forward, whenever this might happen, because I do think that this is a divine timing situation, and you're just going to have to trust in what you're being guided to do by spirit, and try not to be too calculating, because one of the biggest things that's holding both of you back is overthinking this about one another. And I think that is really hindering this connection a lot. And I feel like spirit is asking you both to surrender to the depth of this connection, to surrender to the fact that if your feelings here aren't going away, the more you try to push them away and act like they don't exist, the harder it's just going to be. And I truthfully, there's nothing shameful about admitting feelings for someone. You know, you don't have to say it to them directly. You can just be like, you know, God damn it, fine. Like, I do have feelings for this person, and I wish I didn't. I wish I could just act like super strong and act like I don't care, but I do care about this person. I do have feelings here. And emotionally withdrawing is hindering this, because you and them, I feel like, are trying to not admit the depth here and the feelings. And I think it might be freeing for you with because obviously with your person, you can't control what they do. You can only control what you do. They are, if you just are like, okay, fine, like, I do have feelings, I'm giving it up to the universe, I'm surrendering it to the universe, but I'm only deluding myself and lying to myself if I don't admit the truth here, and that this is really special to me and this is really significant to me. With the moon here, you know, this is a very intuitive connection. Like I said, you probably have dreams about each other, communicate telepathically, you probably get signs from one another. Aliens could be significant in some way. But yeah, I feel like there's positive things coming. I think secrets are going to be revealed. I feel like there's been a lot of karma that has been finished or completed. And I think that it's like a second go around on a merry-go-round, but this time it's like it's gonna be, this is a big if this connection is going to work, both of you have to be on the same page. Both of you have to be authentic. And I feel like this is something that needs to go slow. So maybe you start out as friends, or just be very cautious in the beginning. Because I feel like this connection happened like lightning last time. Like it progressed from just meeting each other to getting physical really quickly. And I think that just made the depth of the feelings so much stronger so quickly. And so I think it's in both of your best interests to maybe be more traditional about how you go about it. I feel like this person, whichever one they are, I don't know why I put it to them, but I feel like they have a desire to want to go about this in a more traditional route. And, you know, having the Hierophant here, this is just even further proving the spiritual nature of this connection. And the Ace of Pentacles is all about wanting a commitment, seeing worth and value in somebody, and, you know, taking a gamble and putting and wanting to grow something strong. I feel like there's a lot of potential here, and I feel like the reason you can't let go of this connection is probably because there's still something that needs to happen here. Like, you're not supposed to. And if you're like, oh, like, why are you flinging this connection in my face, Spirit? It's like, because you don't know the full picture yet. You don't know the full story. Okay, I feel like I've interpreted that for 10 million years. So we're gonna get into channel messages now. Sure, this is going to be the longest reading. My pile 3 readings are always wild. Okay, so Spirit, what would pile 3's person say to pile 3 if they could? It was my fault, but I blamed you. I left you before you could leave me. Yeah, that's like what that 7 of Pentacles I feel like was. Like, they were really insecure, and they were like, well, I you know, they could have anyone they want. Like, why would they want me? I'm just gonna focus on the bag and nothing else. I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. Yeah, there's been a lot of spiritual lessons here. I regret lying to you, and I wish I could take back my words. And on the back of the deck, we have, I look for you everywhere, and the timing just wasn't right for us. Let's get some from my channel messages. So, Spirit, what does pile 3's person want to say to pile 3? Okay, let's see what popped out. I am embarrassed by my past behavior. Yeah, whichever side this is on, I feel that they wish they could go back and change things. I am so proud of you. Yeah, I feel like both of you are watching one another from afar. And I think that there's been enough time passed here. For a lot of you, I really do feel like this is some kind of separation situation. And I feel like the Mother and the Gambler and the Angel and the Don Juan are just showing light and shadow attributes within both of you, and the fact that you both are very complex. You make me forget about the negatives in my life. I want to be on your level. I hope our paths cross again someday. And on the back of the deck, we have, I can see us having a family. I want to treat you like royalty, and I need to find myself. Oh, and I feel like this is accurate too. You feel like home to me. So yeah, this is really beautiful. And I think this is all just, you know, with all the major arcanas here, this is a lot about just letting go and letting God, you know. Maybe Archangel Uriel is someone you want to pray to. I also feel like maybe Archangel Michael could be significant here as well. But let's get some advice for y'all and see what Spirit wants you to know. So, Spirit, what advice do you have for pile 3 when it comes to this connection? Alrighty, we already have one very enthusiastically popping out. Pleasure. I give myself permission to feel pleasure, and I let that pleasure rush into my life in a decadent display of over-the-top abundance. Then I realize that pleasure has been waiting at my door for a long time. It's just that pleasure doesn't knock on doors because loud noises aren't super pleasant. We also have, we have 3 coming out, and I want to take the back of the deck. So, okay. I love this. Okay. Maybe if you chose the raccoon pile in one of my past videos, I can't even remember which one. We have harmony. I know in my heart that when something is right, it feels easy and breezy, even though that sounds cheesy. With this in mind, I banish all stress, insecurity, and tedious work from my relationships. Then I invite harmonious relationships into my life and let them show up on their own time. Easy breezy things are rarely punctual. Yeah, this is all about letting go, exactly what I said. And rest. I take a step away from my stress and then take a deep breath. And then a crankiness killing nap. When I get the rest I need, I instantly become a better version of myself, able to navigate complex relationships in a single bound. When I don't, I'm not, which means I shouldn't. But I try to, and then we can't, and it doesn't. But I did, so it wasn't. Good night. And we have acceptance. When I get to know new people, I accept their actual traits rather than the ones I project on them. Same goes for not new people that I already know. Acceptance is the delicate art that reminds us everyone is their own unique self, and we can't expect them to ever be anything. But man, how do those snowflakes do it? So yeah, I really love this because I think this is just everything that I was already saying. I love when my advice is on point. But yes, I do feel like I said, you know, this is just something where you just need to stay in your self-care energy, self-love energy, and trust that this will come back around when it's meant to, when the timing is right, and just stay in alignment with your truth and your highest self. So, Spirit, can you get some letters for pile 3? Okay, and now obviously, of course I'm getting a lot. Okay, let's get some songs. Pile 3, Spirit. I want to get one more. You guys didn't get very much. Okay. So, oh my. I feel like so many people, like, my pile 3s are always crazy. I'm seeing cat right off the bat, so you could have a cat, or you just intuitively feel things about this connection. We have a V. TV could be significant. We have another T. We have 2 Ks here. So repeating T's, repeating Ks. Kettles could be interesting. Tea kettle. We have a 0. We have a 5. We have a 9 or a 6, however you want to view that. We also have an X. LAX could be significant. We also have an L and a V. So I'm kind of hearing Louis Vuitton. The name of Katie could be significant. I also feel like Spirit is saying to chillax. We have an M or a W, however you want to view that. Texas could also be significant here. We have another C, another A, so maybe California or Canada. We have another X, so we have double X's. We have 1, a 3, another 5, another 5, so 555, which is always indicative of change. With that MA and the K, I'm almost thinking like make up. We also have 2 1s. We also have a 4, 3, and a 7. And I think, oh yeah, we have 2 9s. And I think that's it. So we had a lot, a lot coming out. So let's look at your songs now. Okay, we have SOS by Rihanna. We have Sugar by Flo Rida featuring Winter. I love that song, it's so fun. We also have Contact by Wiz Khalifa featuring Tigress. So that's a good sign, kind of that Page of Swords energy. And Someone Like You by Adele. So these could definitely, Spirit's asking me to pull another song. I don't know why. I will. Only because they said to. Alright, what do you want to give me to pile 3? Alright, well I guess we're having 2 because that one fell out. So we have Slow Motion by Trey Songz. Could definitely speak to the physical passion and the fact that this might take some time. And we have Angel by The Weeknd. So I don't know how many times we can have angel imagery here, but trust your angels on this one. They are really trying to hammer home that this is divinely guided, and this is someone you need to, this is a connection where you need to call on your angels. Okay, pile 3. Thank you guys so much for watching all the way through. If you did, I hope this wasn't too confusing. It was a little bit difficult to read, but I hope that it made sense nonetheless. I am wishing you all the best moving forward. Definitely leave me a like and subscribe if you are interested in more readings like this in the future, and definitely let me know down in the comments how this reading resonated. Oh my gosh, I'm like so scatterbrained right now. Thank you guys so much for giving me the opportunity to read your cards and charms. I am wishing you all the best moving forward, and I hope you'll come back to visit me again soon. Bye!